Look, General Munir, Asim Munir was in DC, and now the Pakistan Air Force chief was there. What is his wish list? What do you think is his wish list? At least
Oh,
the Pakistani
I'm
Air
sure
Force.
I'm sure the Pakistan military would love U.S. technologies. I think there's I always get this question. I'm sure you didn't ask it, but I'm sure like, why does the United States have this? You know, why is he having lunch, and why is this general saying this statement? I know it's a big, and I got it every day while I was in India. I don't do politics. I do war, which is politics by other means. I know that that relationship is complex. I don't think you'll see any U.S. technology going there soon, and they'll have to be looking other places. Although there's the history with the F-16, multiple presidents there, limitations on how they can use it, things like that. I always say geopolitics is complex, but terrorism should not be. And the United States makes statements and through action, especially this administration, that we will not back those who back terrorism.
You've read, there have been several articles about this, of course, after General Asim Munir was in DC, as to what changed between 2018 President Trump and 2025 President Trump. When he spoke then about Pakistan providing safe haven for terrorists, and now what has changed when he's so pally with General Asim Munir. And he said that what America got was nothing but lies and deceit. And now it's like, oh, we are so chummy. What happened? What is the difference? Is it just Iran? Is that it? Or is it because of the Russia war? What is it? What makes Pakistan so indispensable to every US dispensation?
Again, complex. The world has changed. I mean, the world has changed from the president's first administration to now. The Middle East, terrorism, the rise of many countries, and these wars. If you look at October 7th, the awful terrorist attack, Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor, now the Iran, Israel, U.S. operations. There has been a geopolitical giant earthquake to the old status quo. And a lot of people are giving a lot of credit to one meeting. Okay, fine. Look at the actions, not the words. Foreign policy, unraveling foreign policy. There is shared. I mean, ISIS-K and other terrorist organizations, and I know the double game. There is no black and white answer. The United States, of course, has geopolitical interest, economic. Not this is why I'm hopeful for the Indian trade agreements, Indian U.S. military agreements, all of that, strengthening that partnership rather than talking about old partnerships about one meeting. But the world is different, and I think the fracturing of ties to those who support terrorism is definitely clear and present.
Look, you talk about major changes, upheavals, even earthquake, as you say, which have happened in the past 2 years, 3 years actually now, in the global sphere. Then foreign policy has to be dynamic, right? It has to change with the changing dynamics. But it's like this is now going back to the 80s when you're hyphenating, or when America is hyphenating India, Pakistan all over again. And this is that Cold War era strategy literally happening all over again in the Indian subcontinent. So is it that I don't want to sound very pessimistic, but it's really, to Indians, it sounds like, oh my God, America's going back to its old playbook. Is that what's happening? Do you see that too?
No, not at all. Again, the world, this is where it's hard to understand war without understanding geopolitical, international relations, political sciences, even economic ties, to understand the fact that India is not the same India of 5 years ago. For me, studying India from every element of economic, military, political, the same thing for the United States. So the threats to the world are different, right? I think one of the threats is just the geopolitical global international order. When you have things like the Russia-Ukraine war, you have the uselessness of the United Nations, in my own words. These aspects that make it a different paradigm than to go back to the Cold War, and the relationships and opportunities between the United States and India are much different than they were just from a geo-connected or a globally connected economy. The data, artificial intelligence, all of the innovations coming out of India, how it will impact the world, let alone the United States. And I think that there's more opportunity than there ever was during the Cold War, in my own opinion.
Do subscribe to the ANI Clips channel to get shorter versions of this podcast. Click here to watch the full episode.